What's up, guys? Magical Libra here today, and I have got the Dark Magician deck profile for you guys today here in 2021 with my new Ghost Rare Dark Magician. So, as you can see, we are playing Quintet in this deck, and it is not actually, it is a little hard to summon like Quintet is, but like the way we play the deck, getting out 4 different monsters with different names in our deck is super easy. And the 5th one just sometimes comes up and you're like, oh hey, I can play Quintet. Oh, that's cool. Alright, I'm playing Magical Ice Fusion. Alright, they either negate it because I've already got Dragoon and they're thinking I'm going to do another Dragoon. Well, that's okay. I play it again because I played 2. Alright. But not to spoil the deck, guys. Let's go ahead and get right into the deck profile for this deck, guys. So basically, what this deck is focusing on, obviously Dark Magician, but what it's focusing on is either summoning out Dark Magician, getting out monsters to fusion summon, or just going into a link play and just going from there. So it's very versatile. It is still slow. It's more of a tier, I guess. If tier 1 is the highest and then God tier, it's probably a tier 2 deck. So it's pretty decent, with all the hand traps and stuff that we play. So starting off, I have the bad boy himself, the ultimate wizard in terms of attack and defense, and the wrecker of your day, Ghost Rare, Gold Rare, Secret Rare, Dark Magician. Obviously, you need 3 of this card, so, I mean, it's Dark Magician deck. Why not? Alright, let's go ahead and, I'm going to just leave them on the field because I've got the deck separated, and I would like to shuffle it after the video. So, next off, we play 3 Magician Souls, because this is really the soul of the deck. What this card does is, its cost effect is to send a level 7 or higher spellcaster monster from your deck to the grave, so get rid of a brick, to then either special summon this card or send it to the grave. If you special summon this card, you can choose to activate its other effect to send up to 2 cards that are spells or traps from your hand or field to draw that many cards. Or its other effect, if sent to the grave, due to its effect, sent to the grave, you can then either special summon Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl. Also note, it is our only level 1 monster in the deck, so take note. We only have 3 of those in the entire deck, and 2 of our extra decks are level 1 plays. Alright, so next off we have the best normal summon in the deck, Magician's Rod. I'm sure this card needs no introduction. It is the only card that is a normal summon that searches a spell or trap related to Dark Magician. It also has another neat effect where if you did an effect on your opponent's turn, you can tribute a spellcaster, add it to your hand, but we don't really ever use that effect. Next off, we have 2 Magician of Dark Illusion, because this is, again, another Dark Magician while on the field, triggering all of your Dark Magician related spell and trap and monster effects that use Dark Magician. Also, it is the best wizard in terms of opposite attack and defense. Also, it is another level 7 monster to go into Xyz plays, and it's an effect. And in the grave, it is Magician of Dark Illusion in the grave. So it does help out with our Quintet. Next up, what it does is, if you activate a spell or trap during your opponent's turn, you can special summon it. If you activate a spell or trap at all while it's on the field, you can target 1 Dark Magician in the grave, special summon it. A neat little example would be to activate, for example, Eternal Soul to just activate it. You then use Magician of Dark Illusion to special summon, and then you would chain with Secrets of Dark Magic to fuse your Rod and Dark Magician in hand, send them to the grave, summon your Dark Magicians, then chain Dark Illusion, pull back the Dark Magician you just had, now you got 3 monsters on board. So, woo! Link 3. Alright. Next up, we have more of the bricks / fusion materials in the deck, and that is my ever faithful servant, not companion, servant, Palladium Oracle Mahad. Because it is another level 7, it is our only light monster in the deck, and It is awesome. Its effect is awesome. If you draw this card, which we can really utilize that by drawing it with Soul Servant, by putting it on the top of the deck, or if you just happen to draw it, which I get lucky, you draw it, its effect is, you reveal it, then you special summon it. Its effect is, if it attacks a dark monster, its attack, whatever its attack is doubled. Right now it's 25, so it's going to be 5k. Then, if it's destroyed and sent to grave, you can special summon Dark Magician. Also, it's another level 7, so woohoo! Next up is Dark Magician Girl and Red Eyes Black Dragon for the Dragoon and Dark Magician package to go ahead and go into the Dark Magicians or Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Also, Palladium and Dark Magician Girl also help with Soul Servant, so we can maximize its effect to draw 3. I don't play Palladium Oracle Mana to maximize Soul Servant to 4, because that is the max Soul Servant right now can go to, is draw 4. But Mana is just too bricky. In fact, Dark Magician Girl herself is also too bricky, but with the way I play the deck, she's sort of necessary. Really, if I were to choose to not play the Dark Magicians package, I would choose not to play the Dark Magician Girl 100%. But anyway, that is it for the monsters, guys. So let's go ahead and get on into the spells. So, of course, Soul Servant himself, the best spell card in this deck. What this card does is you top deck any card that specifically lists Dark Magician in its text from your hand, deck, or grave. Put it on top of your deck. Its other effect is, in the grave, you banish it, and its effect says that effect is only once per turn when you banish it. Its effect says that you can draw cards equal to the number of Dark Magician, Dark Magician Girl, and or Palladium monsters on the field or in the grave. And that includes your opponent's field and their graveyard as well. So that does not stack. It's just 1 Dark Magician equals 1 draw. 2 Dark Magicians equals 1 draw. Get the idea? Great. Alright. Also, it's quick play, so I can activate it during my opponent's turn. Hey, look, I summoned Magician of Dark Illusion in my hand. And next up is our awesome Magical Circle, Dark Magical Circle. What this card does is, I don't really think it needs an introduction, but it is the main card we use to banish our opponent's cards, because that gets extremely annoying. 100%. No doubt about it, it gets annoying. Also, you can look at the top 3 cards of your deck and add one that is Dark Magician, or a spell or trap that specifically lists Dark Magician in its text. Then set them back as you wish. Next up, for our one-ofs, we have Spellbook of Knowledge. This card can only be activated once per turn. This is why I cut it down to 1 instead of playing it at 2 like most Dark Magician decks do. So it's basically just my free pot of greed. It has no cost effect, so when I activate it, my opponent must negate it then, or they don't, and then I continue with its effect to send the spellcaster monster to the grave and draw 2 cards. It's no cost to send the monster to the grave, so you either negate it then, or you let me do it and draw 2 cards. There is no cost. Next up for our fusion spells, I have the Secrets of Dark Magic to pull out the Dark Magicians, which I so gladly have, and I am so glad that I have this card. Also, I have one for sale, so there you go. Next up, we have Red Eyes Fusion, because this card really gets off our Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, and for some reason, when I play against my best friend who plays the Red Eyes deck, and he plays 2 or 3 of this card in his deck, I don't know why, but I always get this card in my hand almost all the time, or just about every other time, and he never gets it. So either bad luck or good shuffle, I don't know. For our last 2 fusions, we have Magical Eyes Fusion to get off a 2nd Dark Dragoon. And for the final fusion spell, we have another Magical Eyes Fusion. Yes, this can get bricky, but it works. It just works. You play Magical Eyes Fusion for your Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, or you can ditch the Magical Eyes Fusion knowing that you have another one in your deck somewhere, and you draw it, and you get your other Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, or you get out your Quintet Magician and just wipe your opponent's board. Just bye-bye. Now, on to the traps. For our traps, we have the main trap lineup, the 3 Magician Navigation to go for our Dark Magician plays, to get out some level 7s, or just to get out some defense for ourselves to survive. Also, it's a great card in the graveyard to negate, especially when you activate this on your opponent's end phase, and then go for your draw phase, and then you can banish this card to negate a face-up spell or trap your opponent controls. So, awesome. Next up, we have Eternal Soul, because even though it is Eternal Soul, it is not really the soul of the deck. It is actually a very helpful card to go into some plays and to bring back our Dark Magician or search Dark Magic Attack if you so wish to play that card in your deck. That is all of the main deck, guys. Now I will list all of the hand traps, all right? I couldn't really decide to either make this a hand trap or make this an extender main deck card, so I just made it a hand trap, and that is 2 Apprentice Illusion Magician, because it is an extender to put out a card on your board, but it's also a hand trap on your field or in your hand to send it to the grave non-once per turn, non-targeting your Dark Dragoon on the field or your Dark Spellcaster, whatever you choose. Plus it by 2,000 during the damage calculation only. So, really great card. And speaking of damage calculation, this is an amazing hand trap for any dark deck, and that is Dark Honest, because I'm just being honest here. It's a really good card. What this card does is, during the damage calculation, you can make your opponent's monster's attack lose attack equal to its own attack. So, to dumb it down, during damage calculation, your opponent's monster who's battling your monster, it becomes 0. 0. That's it. You're going to take damage equal to, I don't know, my Dark Magician. You take 2,500, and if it can be destroyed by battle, woohoo! And it's not once per turn either. So, you do Dark Honest, alright? You send it to the grave, Dark Honest, alright? My Dark Magician, alright? You're at 0. Oh, you're going to play a card during damage calculation to chain to Dark Honest? To plus your monster by, I don't know, 1,500 or whatever? Oh, okay, cool. Well, you know, actually thinking about that, never mind, because Dark Honest will be the last chain, and yeah. But anyways, even if you need to chain to Dark Honest, you can, because it's not once per turn, and it's during damage calculation. If your opponent chains to Dark Honest to, I don't know, make it unaffected by your opponent's card effects, I guess you would do chain Dark Honest, and then Dark Honest's effect would still go through for the third chain, but the first chain wouldn't really work. But anyway, let's go ahead and get on to the rest of the hand traps, guys, because I kind of got off track. So let's go ahead and go for our Call by the Grave, because thou shalt always play Call by the Grave. Really wishing this card would go back to at least 2. God, I wish it would go back to 2. All right, and next up, I had play Rekt and Harpy's Feather Duster. Now, these 2 cards aren't really hand traps. They're just really good cards to disrupt your opponent and make them basically bait and negate, or try to throw out all of their cards that they have instead of holding back a little. So it kind of forces your opponent to do stuff or just accept fate. Next up, we play 3 Forbidden Droplet. I don't have the third one. If you don't have the third one, you can play any other card, but I decide for that other card to be Dark Magic Attack, since I can search it. It's a brick when it's in my hand, 100%. 100%. But, for example, without, I guess, a third Forbidden Droplet, this is 40 cards altogether. This third card makes it 41. So I couldn't really get myself to take out any other cards. But if you've got 3 Forbidden Droplets, absolutely play 3 Forbidden Droplets. It's the best monster negate. You can do multiple monsters depending on what you just discarded to activate the effect. It's also super poly to where you can't chain anything to it. And to top it all off, it doesn't target, it chooses. So I'm going to choose both your Dragoons over there. Negated. Oh, hey, look. Rekt. All right. So that is all of the main deck, guys. Let's go ahead and get on into the extra deck. All right. For the extra deck, I play, obviously, 2 Red Eyes Dark Dragoons. I'm going to go ahead and try to keep this I like to keep my extra deck organized. So we play 2 Red Eyes Dark Dragoons. All right. Because, obviously, Red Eyes Fusion and Magical Eyes Fusion. We play the Dark Magicians because of Secrets of Dark Magic. And we play Quintet Magician because of, another Magical Eyes Fusion. Now, if you don't know what the Dark Magicians does and you're coming back to Yu-Gi-Oh!, let me just go ahead and explain what Dragoon does. Dragoon is, you get this card on the field and you basically win the duel. It's a lot to read, so to sum it all up, if you use Red Eyes Black Dragon and Dark Magician, the 2 normal monsters, not the names, you get to target 2 cards, pop them, and deal damage equal to your opponent equal to those monsters' attack points. Also, it has an Omni Negate where you discard a card once per turn, negate any one thing your opponent does. The Dark Magicians, when summoned, does nothing. When spell or trap or effect of said spell or trap is activated, you get to draw 1 card. If it's a spell or trap, you get to set it. If it's a quick play or trap, you get to activate it this turn, if you so choose. Also, if this card is destroyed and sent to the grave, you get to special summon 1 Dark Magician and 1 Dark Magician Girl. So if your Dark Magician Girl is banished or, I don't know, on your opponent's side of the field somewhere or in your opponent's hand, you can't do that effect. But if it's not, you can always summon Dark Magician Girl from anywhere and Dark Magician from anywhere. And Quintet, what Quintet is, he is big boss monster. You see the levels and 4,500 attack and defense. And if you summon this card with 5 different names of different spellcasters, then you get to destroy all cards your opponent controls. All right. Next up for our Xyzes, we play 2 Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragons because it's a really great card. And if I happen to get off to level 7 plays, I'm definitely going to summon out 2 Flare Metals right then just to get some burn damage. Also, a fun, neat little thing about Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, because I play against my best friend who plays Red Eyes Black Dragon deck, and he likes to play Bills. So when he gets out Bills, I'll get out Flare Metal Dragon. He'll activate an effect. Flare Metal will inflict. Then his Bills will force activate an effect to gain attack. Flare will then inflict 500. Then he gains 500 attack, and it's an infinite 500 damage loop, and I win. So it's a really great card. In fact, I've actually tested it out, and it does work that way. Next up for our level 7, I play Ebon High Magician. Not because I can activate spell or traps from my hand by discarding a card. Discarding material. But mainly because at the end of the effect, it says, let me find it. If this Xyz summoned card is destroyed by battle and sent to the grave, or if the Xyz summoned card you control is sent to your graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you can special summon 1 Dark Spellcaster type monster from your hand or deck. Then you can destroy 1 card on the field, non-targeting, but destruction. So, I don't know. Some good water. Alright, for our next up, our other level 7 is Ebon Illusion Magician. It's a pretty decent card. It does come up sometimes, but not really. But, sometimes it does come up where I summon this card, activates effects, summon Dark Magician, declare attack with Dark Magician if my opponent doesn't do anything. Great. If they do, I can chain it, I believe, with Ebon. Is it a quick effect? I actually have never came across that. Yep. Looking for you, buddy. Are you when a spellcaster type normal monster declares an attack, you can target 1 card your opponent controls, banish it. That's a cost. It's not a quick effect. So it is a win effect. So you could consider it to be a quick effect. So yeah. Anyway, next up, I do play number 89, Diablosis the Mind Hacker. That $1,600 to $3,100 card that nobody in regular terms can afford. So play number 11. Target a card your opponent controls take control of that monster. There you go. Can't attack when you do it, but there you go. It's a number monster. Come on now. But number 89 is the best card to play in any generic level 7 deck. It's just the fact that TCG, it's a prize card. Nobody can afford it. Konami, please reprint this card. All right. Next up, I don't actually have it, but double Divine Arsenal, AA Zeus Sky Thunder. Absolutely play this in any deck that you play even one Xyz monster in that you think will battle. All right. So play double AA Zeus Sky Thunder. If you don't have it, like me, you can play Dark Anthelion Dragon or Dark and the Lion Dragon, because what this card does is he is basically a souped up level or rank 7 version of Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon. You detach a material, you target a monster your opponent controls, it loses half its attack. This card gains that lost attack. It's at 3k. Woohoo! Also, if it's destroyed, instead of going to the top of the extra deck, it goes to your Pendulum Zone. And then its other effect is once per turn, target your opponent's monster, half its attack, and that's it. So, it never goes away. But yeah, it's pretty cool. That is it for the Fusions and Xyz. Let's go ahead and get on into the links, guys. So, if you don't have it, you can play Relinquished Anima, because it is another spellcaster name for Quintet. But if you do have it, I suggest playing Lingaribo with a G, the one that negates trap cards. That card's really cool, and you can play it in this deck. But I do play Linkaribo because Linkaribo is pretty cool. I activate it. My opponent either negates it or they don't. It's not really that strong. It's just a minor interruption. And next up for our link to Peretta Plant Verte Anaconda, otherwise known as Big Noodly Boy. There you go. What this card does is it helps you get out. Chagoo! Woohoo! There you go. Next up for our link 3, we have Celine Queen, the Master Magicians. Or of the Master Magicians. Whatever. She's a Celine Queen. She's heroic day. She's going on the day. Alright, anyway, so what Celine Queen does is whenever you summon this card, it gains spell counters based on the number of spell cards on the field or in both players' graveyards. That's your field, your opponent's field, and both graveyards. And then if it has 3 spell counters, you can remove those 3 spell counters from anywhere on your field, most likely just her. And then you remove those 3. You get special summon 1 spellcaster monster from your graveyard and I believe your hand. From your hand or graveyard, in defense position, of course. And it's then after you summon that card, if it's an effect monster, because that's what you want to do, now you have a link 3 and 1 more effect monster. That's 2 effects to go into Topologic Bomber Dragon. And instead of going into access code, I absolutely choose not to go into access code. I absolutely don't want to buy access code for this deck. I would absolutely choose to play Topologic Bomber Dragon in this deck profile because, let me grab that card. That card is why I choose to play Topologic Bomber Dragon. Because what Topologic Bomber Dragon says is when a monster is summoned to a Link monster's arrows and he points right there and at the bottom 3, when a monster is summoned to a Link monster's arrow while he's on the field, destroy all monsters on the field. So it just dark holes, and that is a once per turn effect. So if I got Eternal Soul, and I have Eternal Soul down here at the bottom down there, and I got Topologic up here, and then activate Eternal Soul, bring back Dark Magician, nuke the whole field once per turn, every turn, until they get rid of Topologic or the Eternal Soul. That's really cool. Not to mention I have Dark Hole in the side deck, but yeah. But yeah, that's it for the extra deck, guys. I could go ahead and go into the side deck. The side deck isn't really that important, but I mean, why not? The side deck really just mainly reflects on the type of hand traps that you run in your side deck. and what you really want to bring to your locals to kind of counteract what your opponents do. So some good side deck cards would be 3 Nibiru, the Primal Being, 3 Ash Blossom, because it's very generic, 3 Artifact Lancia, 3 Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion. And I actually want to get, I think it's something and Moonlight Chill. It's like Ghost Sister and Moonlight Chill. It's Moonlight Chill. What it does is you discard it, and if you're, you target your opponent's monster, and if that opponent's monster leaves the field this turn, your opponent takes damage equal to its attack. So, pretty good, underrated card. Not gonna lie. Really, really does affect some decks, that's for sure. And 3 Dark Ruler No More. I don't know where I put my other Dark Ruler No More, but 2 is good enough. I mean, you don't really want to play like 2 Dark Ruler No More. You don't even really want to play 2 Dark Ruler No More. I actually have 3 Infinite Permanent Summer, but you know, it's whatever. So I got 2 Dark Ruler No More and the 1 Dark Hole. So these are also really good cards. But yeah, that is it for the side deck, guys. So I'm just gonna go ahead and separate these all because I kind of really want to keep them all separated. That way I know where they're at in my side deck and I can just grab them easy peasy. Alright. Where did that Lancia go? Alright. And there you have it. That is it for the Dark Magician. I guess the Dark Magician deck. I don't really have a fancy name for it, but you know, that's cool too. We'll just call it the Fury of Dark Magician. Why not? But that is it, guys, for the Dark Magician deck, guys. Thanks for watching. I took a lot of time pouring my heart and soul into this deck. Trust me, I poured my heart and soul into this deck. But anyways, thanks guys for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a like, thumbs up. It's really appreciated that you like my videos. It's really appreciated. And I absolutely love it when you comment down below because I love reading your comments. They're like my pride and my joy. But I really like it that you guys actually took the time to watch this video all the way to the end. And I want to wish you guys a great day and peace out.